Hello, and thank you for joining us for our strategy video on personal space. My name's Tanya Lentz, and I am an infant and early childhood mental health consultant with the Children's Resource Center. Today, we are talking about personal space. This is a big one with kiddos and teachers, and trying to find how to address personal space and the importance of staying in their own space. So we need to just teach kids how to be aware of their space. And sometimes that takes a couple different techniques that we can use to help teach them about that. The first one is going over anytime we go to our carpet or we're expecting kids to sit in a small area, we want to teach them what we expect of them. And the first thing is what we call show me five. And it includes eyes on the teacher, ears are listening, mouths are quiet, hands are in our lap, and our legs are crossed. And so the last two really talk about and address that personal space issue. We don't want kids hands flying all over the place, legs spread out over the whole carpet, and getting into other kids' space. So we want to kind of teach them what the expectation is and how we can stay in our own space. The next one is a social story called My Space Bubble. And it really is a cute story that teaches kids about their hula hoop space. And a lot of times we have teachers who actually buy hula hoops and work with kiddos about teaching them to sit in their hula hoop, and that is their space. No one's allowed to come into their space, and they're not allowed to go out of that hula hoop space. So it teaches them a kind of boundary issue and really gets kids to be take notice of what their space is, and teaching other kids to be mindful of that space. It's a really nice visual way to help kids get that boundary. The next one is what are just little shapes that you can buy, and kiddos can take those to the carpet. So a lot of teachers will say, well, I can't afford that $500 carpet for circle time, and we don't need to have that. If you don't have one of those that have a space marked off for kiddos, you can just buy these cute little shapes at Walmart or really anywhere, Amazon, and teach kids that when they go to circle time, they're going to grab one of those shapes and they're going to take that and they're going to sit on their shape. We're going to make sure when we put our hands out, we're not touching anybody. So we're kind of teaching them to make sure we're sitting in an area that they have lots of their own space, and to make sure while they're there, they are going to sit in that and stay in their own little space bubble, their little shape area. These are great resources to teach kids about what their space is and to be mindful of their own space, and to teach kids not to go into other kids' space. Some kids don't have an issue with it, but some kids really do, and are very mindful of the fact that they don't like people too close to them. So these are some great resources to talk to kids about personal space and how we can be mindful of our space and our friend's space. Thanks for coming to our strategy video, and I hope it was helpful.